Okay, so picture this. Long time ago, world gets absolutely destroyed by war. Everyone's screaming their lungs out, fighting till one person stands. Classic battle royale setup, right? Plot twist though. Main character? Total isekai situation. Cut to his past life. Guy named Takaki Kuroiso. Just another working man. Wakes up, gets ready for work. Normal Tuesday. Walks out of his apartment and boom. Body just gives up. Collapses right there. Heart pounding like crazy. Dude is literally praying not to die on some random sidewalk. And yeah, you guessed it. Dies anyway. But here's where it gets wild. Man wakes up in a brand new world. Different name now. Goes by Whim. And his habit? Still puts his hands together like he is praying. Cannot shake the old life. Some guy named Jose walks up. Tells everyone to group up. They are all worried their commander is about to start bragging again. About war results. Because apparently Whim just took down 9 enemies. In one go, Jose is hyped. Tells Whim he should be proud. Racked up so many kills. So much loot. But Whim? Ice cold response. Says it is nothing to be proud of at all. Jose confused. Asks why. Whim stares at him. Coldest voice you ever heard. States he only does this because it is his job. Did not kill them to boost his numbers. When the state says kill, his duty is to kill. Loyal soldier. That is it. Dude lives in a world where war never stops. Feels obligated to follow orders. Just like his old self. Past life. New life. Same obedience. Hearing this makes Jose think Whim is one severe guy. Their battlefield job wraps up. Squad decides to leave the bloody mess behind. Join up with everyone else. That night, total party mode. Everyone resting. Having the time of their lives. Another big war done. Meanwhile, Whim sits quietly. Just enjoying his food. Minding his business. Then this massive dude enters. Calls out Whim's name. Grabs his shoulders. Says he heard rumors. Whim took down 9 soldiers solo. Impressive stuff. But this guy? Reeks of alcohol. States he still wins though. Took down 15 of them. Tries to pity Whim. Says he is not half bad. Whim plays along. Knows exactly how Commander D thinks. Tells him, yeah, I know, I cannot win against you. You are just better. Commander D laughs. Says at least Whim is not lying. Because D has the skills. Real ones. 2 people walk in. One of them drops a bomb. Says magic is one thing, but skills? Total cheat code. Commander D has no idea who these clowns are. Asks who the hell they are. Jose explains. Those 2? The only surviving rookies they have. Coxcomb dude Barito. And the cutie Noran. Commander D starts arguing with Burrito. Says his skill is not cheating. It is his own power. His strength. Burrito sticks to his principles. Nope. Still cheating. No matter what. Meanwhile, Noran asks D about his warhammer. Heard it can defeat any armor. True or not? D, full of himself, says it is all true. Every word. Whim, curious now, asks if D wished for that skill. Jose jumps in. Answers for him. Says there is no way D did not wish for it. One of the commander's powerhouse moves is a sure kill technique. Jose badly wants skills like that. Feels like one skill alone can change entire wars. Make them rich too. Jose turns to Whim. Asks if he wants a skill. Whim, being honest, says as long as it is free he will take it. And when Jose asks about magic, Whim says it is still a nice thing to dream about. This shocks Jose hard. Even tells the commander right away. But here is where things get serious. Their fun gets cut short. They start talking about tomorrow's plan. Fighting a ton of battles. Starting tomorrow, their opponent is Miyard. Today marks the day they split up the Liberation Trade Federation completely. Heiser Empire, already gathering its army in Saria City, northwestern part of former Konoha Kingdom, heading to Miyard territory. But the war against Liberation? Just the beginning. Real objective? Defeat Miyard. Commander D gets real. States it has been fun so far. But starting tomorrow, real battle begins. Unlike anything before, big battle. Must prepare themselves, any way possible. Next day, during battle, Whim is struggling, fighting with his morals. But he has no choice. Just a soldier. Follows orders. When his kill count hits 10, Whim snaps out of daydreaming. Wait, they are just on their way to battle. His mind already deep in it. Finally, reach Saria City. Poverty everywhere. Whim sees a prostitute begging for work. Cannot take seeing her struggle. Gives her some coins. Buy some food. Eat something. Jose warns him. Do not get comfortable with anyone. May cause problems later. But Whim has a soft heart. Cannot help it. Beggars struggling to survive. He knows that feeling. When he got to this new world, could not sustain himself by farming. That is why he became a soldier. Army supply funds needed to pay for his home. Without it, his parents, siblings, him, all beggars. Walking through alleyways full of starving people, Whim remembers when Saria was different. 5 years ago, this was Konoha Kingdom territory. Not Heiser, but Konoha kept strengthening borders, interfering with Heiser. Even Whim is surprised they won that battle, defended the village. This was abundant land, lots of people, vast fields, delicious food. But Konoha now? Absolute worst. Jose asks the commander what caused this downfall. Commander D explains. Miyard Grand Duke was former Konoha nobleman, took advantage of Heiser War, abandoned Konoha, defected to neighboring Fus Kingdom. Dispatch army from Fus and Miyard's own army trampled everything. One by one, Konoha territories invaded, vandalized, turned into scorched earth. Konoha ruined. Miyard Grand Duke seized territory, became monarch. Miyard became independent country. This land became like this because it got sold to Miyard Grand Duke. And then it gets worse. Heiser also lacked troops. Postponed invasion till now. That is why citizens have deeper grudge towards Miyard and Fus than Heiser. Continued even when Heiser joined Miyard invasion war. Hearing this makes Whim think this person would be the enemy he defeats next, no matter what. After walking for minutes, they reach an inn, where they stay for now. While drinking, the three talk about the plan, following Libero border. Wish victory would be theirs. But Whim had too much to drink, ends up vomiting everything. World, literally, spinning. Cannot uphold calling himself a soldier. Deep inside, refers to himself as a murderer. Little did anyone know what comes next. Next day, big battle begins. Commander D giving his men the best pep talk anyone could give, pumping them up. Meanwhile, enemy land commander Gerard Berger doing the same thing. Tells his soldiers they are the symbol of bravery. With this bravery, time to end the war. Put a stop to everything. Adds that his men should not be afraid. Trample over enemies. Show them they are not scared of winning. On the other hand, Whim already readying himself. Another killing spree incoming. Kill or be killed situation. Cannot deny he is worried, though. What is going to happen next? Jose notices. Sees Whim looking pale. Asks if something is wrong. Whim brushes it off. Just a hangover. Nothing serious. But Jose knows better. Sees something behind those murky eyes. Tells Whim if something happened he should not be afraid. Can tell him anything. Will gladly listen. Whim decides not to share. Keeps it bottled up. And here is where it gets wild. Let's jump into the war plan. Empire's army departs from Saria City, divided into 3 large troops, all 3 routes leading to Miyard territory targeted for capture. Notably, massive fort blocking main road, guarded by 3,000 soldiers. Capture predicted to be difficult, but they must succeed, no matter what. D Squad arrives at Saria's paramount fort, preparing for battle. Whim worried, though. Newcomers Noren and Barado might die during this, so he will protect them as much as possible. Horn sounds echo. D Squad rushes the castle. Along the way, series of attacks from enemy, welcomed by violence. But with tenacity, they move forward. Some allies already dead. But Whim and Noren reach the walls. Guards gather at gate. They can enter castle by laddering the walls. Rush to walls. Attacks from above make some fall. Despite that, still maintain posture. Do everything to reach the top. Whim reaches top. Deaths from every corner. But as he turns back to look for Noren, shocked. Wounded body, covered in blood. He is furious. A knight did this. Fights the knight, no matter what. Swinging sword in every direction. Cannot afford to let this knight live. Might kill Noren for good. Usually a guy like this knight would be scoring off against Commander D. Commander too conspicuous. Could not reach walls due to interference. Now Whim left alone. Has to take Knight down quickly. But as he tries to kill the guy, Whim feels something different. Knight's axe lands on his body. Knight shocked. Spear did not hit Whim's eyes. Turns out Whim has magical barrier, covering entire body. Even Whim does not know how to describe this feeling. Body and sword feel light, as if he attained power no one has. Knight tries to act strong. Whim just laughs, kills him mercilessly. And just like that, Whim ends up killing every last one after another. After killing almost all enemies, Whim checks on Noren, still bleeding. Noren assures him she is alright, nothing to worry about. Commander D and Jose impressed. Whim already found his power, but there is no denying hell has only just begun. Designed fort shortly surrounded. Battle began in morning, ended just before sunset. But this battle, still only on outpost of borders. Whim's job far from over. Few days pass since fort siege. Everything normal for Whim and others, till they come across a body, face almost half crushed. Some troops escaped siege, plotted guerrilla warfare. On road passing through surrounding forest, Heiser army heading toward Miyard stopped in tracks. Significant loss. Supplies and soldiers suffered. Seeing crushed face out of nowhere? Absurd. Jose, Whim, and others start talking. Whim states he does not think it was done with hammer. Crushed area too big. Seems like weapon used was shield. Commander D agrees. Jose asks if Commander thinks culprit might have skill. D states many users have power skill. Has to be iron wall skill. With it, even wooden shield's effectiveness becomes similar to iron. Known that if you hit someone with it, end up with dead body like this. At least 2 people have that ability. 1 magic user, 1 skill user. Miard will definitely use these people in guerrilla warfare, which Whim thinks is not suitable for their part. Jose states entire company went looking for enemies. No luck. Instead, Heiser army lost 30 members. Enemies should have been defeated by now. Pretty resilient. Walking through forest, Norin spots something. Not expecting it all. Person hanging up tree. Cold and dead. They state these are forest people. Sold information of Heiser army to Miard troops. Whim tells her there was a time he was not used to this view. Someone told him dozens of innocent people died because of these people. No need to feel guilty. Then warning sent. Miard troops on their way to attack. Whim moves ahead, killing off as many enemies as he can. When he gets clear picture, turns out they are leading adventurers. Noran has no idea what leading adventurer means, Jose explains. These people subjugate demons, secure dungeons. No wonder Miard troops good at guerrilla warfare had adventurers as allies. Whim thinks if it was adventurers doing, then all that remained were elite knights. Meanwhile, Commander D fighting enemies, furious that guild interfering with war. But guild leader states they are just free-willed employed soldiers. Back to Whim. Deep shock. One of his enemies just a mere kid. But despite that, all magic users are nuisance. This will only lead to killing kid, no matter what. With evil murky eyes, Whim mercilessly kills everyone. Tells anyone begging to spare their life to give up. No one will help them. Kid shouts. Asks how Whim can kill someone so quickly. Whim looks at her. Coldest eyes there are. States on battlefield it is necessary. After all, he is sure girl killed her own share of people. Since this is pointless conversation, would rather finish it. Girl had excellent training. Dodges his attack. But Whim realizes one thing. Girl not used to killing people at all. Still would not stop him from killing her. As Whim rushes towards her, weapon almost reaches. Man with long hair stops him on time. Turns out girl is adventurer's leader. Must be defended at all costs. But the man who tried to help ends up meeting his death. And then it gets worse. As Whim tries to kill girl, hidden magic starts lingering. So powerful, it was not just Whim who felt it. Turns out it is all girl's doing. Whim readying himself to fight. Girl somehow finds escape route. Leads to her freedom from death. Heiser troops think considerable skill must have taken toll on her body. No doubt about it. Jose asks D if they should pursue her. D states no need. Main forces of Miard army remnants already dealt with. No point doing more work than necessary. From here, troop continues towards Miard's capital. Meanwhile, everyone having conversation about next plan. Whim left alone with thoughts. Inside his head, those adventurers were quite skilled. If they were used to people dying, ones to die could have been them. Whim thinks he himself did not want to kill because he wanted to. Seems like there is much deeper reason than anyone could have thought. On the other hand, girl still seen crying, stating her confusion at Whim's problems. Then entity scene, saying words submit already. Just matter of time before we know what this entity is. Next day, yet another normal one for Whim and Heiser troop. One of Whim's comrades tells him to hold his hand. Whim confused at first, never really gets the reason why. Comrades explain, since Whim always wanted to learn magic, might as well teach him while they have free time. Whim very much excited, smiles immediately after hearing offer. As they hold hands, 2 start tutoring session. Others look confused, question what they are doing. Jose explains. Willette, their comrade's name, is transferring magical energy to Whim, teaching him how to use it. Made their comrades wonder if this would actually make Whim use magic, even for a short while. Jose continues explaining. After they are done, everyone will find out if Whim has aptitude or not. Might be able to use fireballs, water spears, just like Willette. As they intensely hold hands, Whim looks exhausted to next level, but Willette tells him to concentrate, no matter what. Whim starts feeling coldness rushing throughout body. Willette states, it is alright. This is prerequisite for elemental magic. As long as Whim concentrates, he will get there. As Willette lets go of left hand, tells him to keep focus on palms. Think of river or ocean. As long as Whim visualizes any form of water, should be good. Whim did as Willette says, thinking of water. And just like that, able to make water on own palms, looks at it, so happy, proud of himself. But Willette not impressed at all. According to Willette, although it is usable amount, does not mean it is suitable. That is why Whim should undergo same hardship. Go experience human well. Hearing this makes Whim sweat like hell. Willett tells him not to as much as possible, should save magic. Compared to explosive magic Whim uses for skill, water-based magic requires less mana, made Whim confused, did not know what Willett meant, asks if he has been using magic whole time. Willett explains, both body reinforcement magic and skills require magical power. Roughly speaking, when Whim uses magical power for elemental magic like Fireball and Water Spear, classified as magic, when he uses techniques like Power Attack and Iron Wall, uses magic power to strengthen body or weapon, these called skills. Willett bit surprised, Whim unaware of this. Whim explains he was raised on farm, under military rule, illiterate. Willett will now test if Whim has aptitude for fire elemental magic. Whim did same thing, but this time with fire in mind. Willett looks away for 1 second, looks back at Whim, deep shock. Whim has big flame. Everyone immediately went into panic, caused big fire. Thankfully, Willett stops Whim from causing even bigger fire. But instead of getting furious, seems like Willett even happier. Can finally say Whim definitely has aptitude for fire magic. So instead of stopping, we'll continue with next step. Meanwhile, man relays message to Commander D. Seems like message from Allied troops. Inside message, order from Captain Luran. After D reads letter, all he can say is, Allied troops must be crazy for thinking of such strategy. Messenger states, it is plan given to him. That is why D Squad ordered to hastily merge with main battalion, since war will take place in plains of Ren. With this, Heiser will certainly face defeat. Both Miard and Fu's strongholds on these hills. Furthermore, by observing Heiser army position, apparent majority of army will head toward army of Miard first, with small number of people holding Heiser army down, all predicted. Downfall of Heiser army predicted. Meanwhile, Lord Farius, Winston of Farius army furious. Fact that Heiser army crazy, wanting to defeat them badly. In fact, Heiser army wants to restrain 6,000 men army even more absurd. That is why Lord Fus, hoping to create few skeletons out of those Heiser troops. As Lord Fus checks troops, seems like everyone ready. Knowing Miard will be attacked by Jeff's cavalry battalion, makes him think Heiser army quite sharp. Advancement carried by strongest troops they have. But in end, still not enemy Lord Fus fighting. Not for anyone but their country alone. So he will make sure both Miard and Heiser die on battlefield today. Everything should belong to Farius, alone. Now that Heiser troops already moving, only marks beginning of everything. Total number of Miard army, 25,000 soldiers. Heiser army, around 15,000 men. War will now begin. Going back to Heiser troops, Jose asks Whim why he thinks Miard army looks so fierce on battlefield right now. Whim answers he thinks it is because they are in Farius's homeland. Commander D realizes reason they have been called to battle, for them to be gotten rid of. But Norin does not get it. Enemy still on standby. Even though battle already started, made D furious. Although it took enemy lot of time to prepare deployment plan, we'll just explain briefly. First, Heiser army will aim for Miard stronghold. While that goes on, final deciding factor will also occur. Luran battalion, which includes D Squad, will converge and blitz with Jeff's cavalry battalion. Plan somehow made Whim confused. They know for fact, infantry and cavalry will be running together. Too reckless, no matter how much they look at it. So only question D Squad asking, why is it them? Representative states, it seems to be because Luran battalion has a lot of experience. But Commander D not taking reasons at all, literally means they as humans will have to run with horses. Even if hearts about to burst, lungs about to explode, no one can stop, because they will end up getting crushed by following running soldiers. If one stops, they die. If they want to live, must kill enemies in front while running. And Fact Squad, put on front lines, even more absurd. Commander D blames Whim for it, because he has gone rampaging with power move in last battle. So Allied troops thought they were so strong, since their troop has not only one but two power move users. On top of that, they also have Willett's magic. So cannot be helped Luran battalion commander expected lot from them. While taking time to talk about unexpected turns, battle continued happening in background, then put on halt. Commander D realizes attack order still has not arrived yet. Starts to worry something bad might have happened to Vanguard. Means plan might not be going well at all. But D still maintains optimism, telling himself Commander Berger would not misread situation. However, no matter what happens, main army of Farius territory finally arrived. Heiser army does not know what to do next. Start getting hysterical. What is the plan? No attack orders given. To make even worse, reserve army of Miard also heading their way. If they do not do anything, will definitely be decimated. That said, Heiser army has no choice. Take everything into own hands. Some soldiers started attacking Miard army. Since it was enemy, they were first ought to fight, resulting for others to join as well. In End Heiser army, literally running towards their death, commander has no control over it. To fight alongside cavalry so tough. Now that they are almost in contact with enemy, even worse. Commander, along with Whim and others, made their way to fight as well. Commander D states, it seems like they already baited them all out. Whim has no idea what Commander talking about, asks more about it. D states, it is all hunch for him, but seems like their plan of pretending Heiser army was not functioning well, baiting enemy to come, going pretty well. Turns out plan told to everyone was actually bluff. They deceived enemy by using their allies. Resulted in most enemy forces getting stuck with Heiser's army, leaving Farius army headquarters with fewer men. Now, mission of army? Take down Farius headquarters as soon as possible. This plan involves main army who acted as decoys. Now have not much time to win, no choice but to crush enemy headquarters before they do. That said, as much as possible, utilize much of power and resources. Willet and Whim attack in front, only two who can use elemental magic. With Willet's water magic and Whim's fire, enemy's first line of defense got easily defeated in no time. Now that gap in enemy line opened, excellent advantage for Heiser army. One by one, Heiser army kills every enemy in every direction. Commander D tells his men to remove all anti-cavalry fences as much as possible. Make path for cavalry. If one fails, no tomorrow. As horses rush into battlefield, everyone fierce, ready to risk life for winning. On other hand, main troops of enemy also on their way to counterattack. But Heiser army would not make this reason for them to fall. With much dedication, focus on goal. Meanwhile, Whim yet again found himself picking fight with another strong man. As he observes army, able to notice man clearly has different set of armor and weapons compared to soldiers fought till now. Means enemy up against now is Royal Guard. So if that is case, must be from target Farius stronghold. That means their general really close by. Whim shouts at Guard, saying he should move, if he does not want to die in foreign lands. But instead of moving away, Guard rushes to attack Whim. Strong swing of sword. Whim did not anticipate attack would be that strong, so did not think much. But as he blocks sword, can say there is much power behind it. Meanwhile, Commander D and others still struggling. Fight enemies they have. Seems like no end to them at all. Jose able to notice strange group in back, trying to run away, without stopping their invasion. Commander D states that is enemy's general. Since there is no one free to catch, at this rate their general going to escape in no time. Even Commander D starts to wonder if these soldiers just here to give time to weak general. Going back to Whim, seems like he is also struggling. Fight Royal Guard, even with his power move. When things are not going on his terms at all, will resort to best thing, make him win. That is, to use fire powers. This time around, swears to burn enemy down, no matter what. Must use magic, but just fireball would be no good. These fully armored Royal Guards do not mind dying. Big hindrance. Inside his head as long as these guys here, Heiser army cannot reach goals. If they lose enemy's general, already end of mission. In other words, Whim has no choice. Ablaze his surroundings, while maintaining intensity of fire. Whim now literally on fire. Jose tells everyone to stay away from him, as much as possible. If they do not want to be torched alive, Whim eager to kill Royal Guard, no matter what. So with his blue flame, ended up melting man away. On other hand, news about happenings already reached enemy's base. One man informs Lord Fus it is already dangerous to stay. Do not have choice but to join up with battalion, since if general dies in battle, will be downfall of entire army. Lord Fus got furious. What his men stated only means he needs to run away, give up on stronghold. Then another man comes rushing, inside his tent, informing him their anti-cavalry fence broken already. Do not have choice, but to move, as fast as they can, if they still want to stay alive. Then, big explosion literally awoke hell out of Lord. In midst of event, able to remember time when someone told him. On battlefield, if ever he sees blue fire, only means bonfire of another world. Simply means there is invited death waiting for him. This fire death's name? Ignis Fus, as if someone opened gates to hell. That said, Commanding General Lord Fus already has idea what is going to happen to him next. Now that Whim already in front of him, spirit will continue to spread, with color blue. Now that Whim successfully cornered Commanding General Fus, only matter of time before things fall into order. But instead of getting scared, knowing he is one step away from death, seems like Commanding General still full of himself. States Whim, just mere foot soldier, thinks highly of himself. Commanding General tells Whim with very confident voice. States he is commander of Miard and Farius expedition forces. So if anyone should be scared, should be Whim, who he refers to as no one at all. Meanwhile, Whim starts to contemplate, is commanding general in front of him real deal, or just double? But as he looks closer, eventually confirms it is actual general. Whim states general should just give up, knows there is no point killing general without reason, considering having someone of royalty as prisoner of war very beneficial. Whim thought he would just spare commanding general, since Heiser army would definitely want that. So after hearing general say, there is no reason to surrender, Whim could not take it anymore, starts to attack general, while still seeing to it he is not killing him, tries to move swiftly, since if bit slower, would have been fatal wound. Meanwhile, commanding general trying to fight with all his might, but somehow cannot find opening for himself. Although Whim tries not to kill man no matter what, seems like already fate he will end up dying. As fight finally ended, Jose asks Whim if he was all right. All he can say, terribly tired, cannot seem to express it very well, but Jose assures him, this feeling of tiredness all right, considering it is proof of life. After all, it was long fight. Feeling this much exhaustion after back-to-back fight with strong guards and commander will be exhausting. When Whim finally got senses back together, went on to ask if others were fine, just to check on everyone. Norin answers him, with sad look on face, says everyone full of life, as if trying to tease truth that almost everyone died on battlefield. Squad leader states no one allowed to sleep yet, not on his watch at all. So everyone must drink as much water as they can, keep themselves hydrated as possible. Meanwhile, as Whim looks at their commander, can only say even with all those cuts on body, seems like Commander D still wants to fight, no matter what. Slight glimpse of hope still seen in his eyes. With victory over Farius and Miard, this war will soon end. But will it? On the other hand, at Miard territory, base already received report regarding commanding general Farius' sudden defeat in battle. Now question is, what will they do now? Commanding chief of Miard group seems bit nervous. What going to happen next? Inside his head? For what did he lick shoes of Farius' empire for 5 years? For what did he sell his motherland? He even sold his daughter, avoid involving himself in war, but still ended up dealing with it in end. Now with death of Commander Fus, even thought of accepting defeat, once and for all, but seems like he will have hard time doing so, considering his people would even want to go after him now, especially now that he already made crimes clear to everyone, now subjected to getting killed by own people. After they defeated allied forces of Farius and Miard, Heiser army advanced to Edinburgh, capital of Miard, by foot. Whim and his group ordered to maintain peace and order in city, but seems like Whim will not do such thing. Edinburgh, formerly part of Miard city, now taken over by Heiser army, whole place now out of order, will definitely meet its downfall, sooner or later. Heiser army now inside big room, with big table, sitting, waiting for meeting to start. Some army members start to question what their Commander D doing. Get them all invited to such extensive residence. Soldiers have no idea at all. No matter how they look at it, this is not technically jail, so they do not think they have ulterior motives, other than talking. Little did these soldiers know, Commander D actually hearing everything they were talking about. D asks them if they think he made mistake. Soldiers immediately state they do not, but eventually state probably little. Made Commander wonder if higher-ups would actually be going to reward them for their work. Cavalry Battalion Commander Jeff also said something similar. Maybe that is case. When drinks already served, Jose asks D if he knew how to drink it, since this technically their first time in such fine dining setup. All that D knows, when drinking this kind of refreshment, all about sound, since these royalties actually drinking their tea very quietly. As soldiers sip on tea, smile on faces could not be hidden at all. Seems like everyone loved taste. Hot tea lingering in mouth, sensually. Even Whim could not believe he would come across such fine product as tea. Although he does not know much about manners of world living in right now, he does remember manners of previous world he lived in. Sipping on this fresh tea made him remember some things, in past life, worth remembering. While Whim enjoying every drop of tea, comrades start looking at him disgustingly. Think his reaction bit absurd, for son of farmer. While they having time of their lives, having fun, laughing, also bickering, man enters room, makes them all quiet. As man steps inside, squad immediately stands, showing utmost respect. Old man tells them to take seats, cannot possibly have conversation while standing up. This old man is childlike old man, hero of war, none other than Commander Belga, brain of war. As he sits down, immediately sips on tea, like no other. When he has already got grip on situation, immediately states how surprised he is, hearing about report, that it was not Jeff's cavalry that killed Farius' commander, but rather D's infantry. Even Belga himself been outdone, especially by all of them. Thought he would give guys reward directly, so decided to call them personally. Commander D, who bit shy, states they unworthy of heroes' praises, but we all know he loved hearing it. Belga somehow grew fond of D after he heard how fierce D was on battlefield. Commander Belga even termed D treasure of country, since pretty rare to find commanders like him. Hearing this made D so happy, finally, after all those struggles, able to hear good words from someone important to him. And of course, Commander could not possibly forget about Whim. With eerie look in eyes, Commander Belga calls for Whim's name. Whim, on other hand, bit startled. That commander knows him. Commander states in detail. 6 months after joining battalion, Whim trained in battles near border. Through training, able to acquire much skill and power. Uses now in battles. Very strong weapon for squad leader. Since other than fact he has learned magic, also quite adamant actual fighter. On top of that, also now has skill of Ignis Fus, considered to be one of deadliest skills there is. So natural for Commander Belga to feel excited, amazed at how skillful and powerful Whim truly is. Whim could not say anything, other than, "Thank you." Commander continues with speech. Says when he was young, able to see Ignis Fus once, but thank God Whim is soldier of Heiser. One would like to avoid getting burned and killed by blue fire. Everyone heard about Fairy Tale of Fire, which sends anyone to Netherworld throughout history. Ones that had this ability were either famous heroes or some outstanding adventurers. So Commander wonders if Whim, one of them, so he calls for Lynette. Bring something in. Weird-looking mask presented to Whim. Just looking at it made Whim extremely agitated, Commander explains. This mask, worn initially by party of other worlders, they went on rampage against 3 major nations. As result, many mysteries surrounding that mask. But only thing known about mask, owner could also use Ignis Fus, like Whim. So Commander asks Whim to wear mask, see if it fits. And surprisingly, fit perfectly. Other than that, did suit him very much. But inside Whim's mind, confusion starts to rush in, starts to question why it feels like déjà vu. Feeling he can feel in original world. While he feeling all these emotions, Commander keeps telling him, enemies will definitely fear him with that mask on. Says if Whim likes it, then he can keep it. With unhappiest face anyone could imagine, Whim states he likes mask very much. But here's where things get interesting. Seems like Commander has something up sleeves. Turns out mask actually cursed. Whim tries to ask Commander about it. Commander keeps laughing lungs out, as if no tomorrow. All Commander can say, looks like mask taken liking to Whim. Mask sometimes harmonizes with emotions, trembles, has not caused harm yet. So Commander states no one should worry much. There are rare occasions of weapons having own skill. This thing very picky, quite problematic. Good that it finally found suitable owner, so Whim should cherish it with all heart. That said, as soon as dreadful meeting finally ended, everyone seems to look so tired, all of sudden. Although they all thankful, finally got reward they wanted. Seems like Whim got something he never expected at all. Although he knows gift unnecessary, bit over top, Whim will try to cherish it, no matter what, considering it's something Commander given to him, even if Mask literally has own will, shakes immensely. Nothing new in World Women right now, so he finds it not so hard. Take it wholeheartedly. As they walk past main road, group comes across pile of dead bodies, of Miard soldiers. Seems like these men rushed to place after they lost their lord. Just shows that even if they have wealth and power, only takes moment for it all to crumble. Seems as though insurgents killed Miard kinship before Heiser army arrived. But also seems apart from soldiers, commoners also participated in insurgents. Death toll still rising greatly. That is why Whim and group ordered to maintain public order. Part of job? Find Miard soldiers hiding in city, and people disregarding martial law, looting. Other than that, Whim's group will also dispose of prisoners, facilitate smooth operation. One by one, Whim and others start to find individual after individual. Some try to beg for Heiser troops to spare their lives, while some reason they are not soldiers. Even Whim starts to ask, if that person really soldier? So, to stop havoc, tells his men to stop hurting anyone. Just do best they can, maintain order. Some Heiser troops start to hear screaming, shouting from all over place, as if there is battle happening somewhere. But as sad as it may actually be, it is sound of people killing each other. Meanwhile, Whim roaming around city, trying to check everything. Then came across place, where seemed like something happened just recently. As he checks what is going on, felt furious. When heard, some guys broke into house, raped woman, beat woman's husband, do their evil scheme. Although culprit rampaging, finally caught after a while. So Whim asks what would happen to these people. Normally they get decapitated, but since Heiser won war, would probably only be beaten with whip. But seems like Whim thinks whipping would not be enough at all. Then Commander D enters scene, saying getting whipped more than enough already. Live soldiers scream on first lash. On second and third, start crying. Skin gets peeled off. Flesh gets shaved off. Even if they piss themselves or lose consciousness. Wake up on next slash. So there is no way man-like culprit can bear such thing. Hearing all this from Commander, other soldiers already used it as threat to everybody, that if they want lashes reduced, should quietly get up, turn themselves in. Meanwhile, seems like Commander quite aware, fact that Whim really does care about these things, just afraid to tell anyone about it. That night Whim finds himself chilling, beneath night sky, then small ruckus somewhere in dark, causes him to be alert. As he stands up, asks who is there, states he only going to ask one more time. If no one replies back, will not stop himself from doing worst. Man came out of dark, saying apologies. As soon as he realized these people, not soldiers, immediately stated it prohibited to be outside at night. Old man and girl state they aware of rules. Whim asks why they outside then. Old man states city filled with thieves, roof yards, cannot live there anymore, wish to seek refuge, with relatives abroad. Whim asks if old man, military person, of some sort. Old man states no, he is not, although involved in war more than 10 years ago. But Whim can guarantee he is retiree now. Even then, Whim still thinks old man's physical condition still nice, natural for someone his age, already have bent back, but seems like he does not have one. On top of that, hands of young lady with him too pretty, which would not be case if she was working. So Whim asks if she's sheltered inside home, or something. Old man reasons good health, their only redeeming feature. Above all, his granddaughter lost parents when she was just kid, so he did not want her to suffer. Raised her up really carefully, but seems like Whim not buying any of old man's story, so tries to chat, scared too, by acting as if going to attack them. When sees two so scared for lives, starts laughing eyes out. After got reaction wanted, eventually let two go. Was such very rough day for Whim, so thinks he let two off, somehow lessen guilt, which eventually made him feel like hypocrite. After a while started to realize, those two just now sympathize with him, despite fact he is invader. Starts to think he probably killed their family and friends, cannot make up for what he did, by merely giving girl something to eat. Meanwhile, seems like girl, earlier actually royalty, finds Whim to be hypocrite for giving her something she knows came from bad doings. Although her father and mother died, girl whose name is Rita still has a lot of obligation, help protect her people. That is why she and old man, who turns out to be her guard, will now head towards Sela, and there they will plan everything they need to do. Then 2 months later, something more about to happen, for sure. 2 months after siege of Miard's capital, Edinburgh, Heiser army now fighting with other nations. One after another, Heiser army heading straight for Fus, because Fus assisted Miard army in recent battle. Their border strength severely weakened, and Heiser was not so careless. Overlook such weakness. First, sent out 2 battalions, make towns and villages on border surrender. After that, several battalions join up. Heiser forces split into 2 groups. First group consisted of 4 battalions, who were to invade inland districts. Second group had 2 battalions, circling Farius' army, in order to prevent main body from getting flanked. Whim affiliated with Luran Battalion, part of second group, planning to besiege reef and mines, surrounding border. During operation, Commander D keeps laughing all time, as if just fun time for him, had no corners. 3,000 enemy soldiers in their forts. So these forts ended up becoming multiple lines of defense. For them, to make matters worse, they have high ground as well. Will take lot of strength and effort. Take 1 fort down, maybe, but not worth it. That is why Heiser team planning to repeatedly launch fire attacks on soldiers after making them retreat into forts first. Commander D states they should break enemy spirits, then attack, wipe them all out. Hearing their commander talk like this made Heiser group laugh. And now that Farius soldiers shouting from behind, seems like Commander D has no choice. Give them encore. Thinking about what Commander stated earlier, seems like Heiser army just waiting till enemy starves out. Seeing how everyone seems so chill about it, only one thing Whim could say about this battle, compared to battles they had before, this one seems kind of fun. But 2 weeks later, seems like Farius soldiers tougher than anyone thinks. So while everyone's still waiting for battle to start, Commander D tells Whim to do some training while he has spare time, since if he cannot control magic correctly, there is risk of harming allies. Will it explains to Whim. His Ignis Fus is not normal at all. In worst case scenario, can incinerate entire platoon, so this abandoned tunnel would be perfect for training. That said, time to practice. Whim concentrates, lets all power out, as much as he can, and just like that, able to let it go in one go. Meanwhile, other members also training as well. Both Baruto and Noran training with Commander D himself, and seems like they not having best time of lives. A few days later, Whim can finally control magic, to a certain extent, but even bigger problem now. He can only use Ignis Fus for only 30 seconds. If he uses it for more than 40 seconds, will run out of mana. When that happens, cannot use Power Move or Fireball. Not only that, physical abilities also hit rock bottom. Could even die in process. That said, for now, Whim needs rest. Above all, Jose enters scene, checking up on Whim, but seems like Jose just worried their food will not be ready, considering army now using Whim's Ignis Fus, heat up food. Although never agreed to do any of it, he's satisfied with what able to do. Could never imagine company commander himself would show up, let him use skill in helpful way. Meanwhile, company commander said, making enemy lose fighting spirit with smell of good food, also part of plan. That is why, as much as possible, Hazer army will make good food for rest of battle. But seems like Whim not okay with thought of using food at all, considering everyone just wants to eat their heart's content. Jose agrees with him, but if possible, would like to avoid eating bland food, even on battlefield. Seems like Whim not admitting Jose's cooking quite tasty, keeps saying he just munching on food because used up all mana, so need some calories, bring back energy. But seems like Jose not even taking it. Jose states out of nowhere, this lifestyle of theirs will soon end, since seems as if number of fling soldiers increasing recently. Seems like they cannot tolerate being confined to walls any longer, so a lot of them just surrendering. But to tease Whim, Jose states smell of his cooking must be contributing as much as well. Jose laughs at thought, imagining themselves being various soldiers confined within walls, with stronghold completely surrounded, regardless of day and night, sounds of battle, even though fighting, need to ration little reserves they have, day by day, while enemy outside feasting on such delicacies, might be worst feeling there is. Day or two would make one nauseous, irritated, but if continued for a week, would definitely break spirit. That said, 3 days later, now time to annihilate enemy, starting off with Whim's blue flame, as signal for start of another war. Before attack, whole Heiser army seen having meeting. Mine's geographical location seems bit tough, play with. Besides that, fort after all, since also very narrow. Deployment of soldiers going to be tough, means they cannot overwhelm enemy, with numbers alone. And that is where Whim comes into play. Going to do night raid, with small number of people. His assignment? Use his Ignis Fus, cause total ruckus within castle walls. Hearing this somehow made Whim nervous, but did not really have choice, since was order from boss. Whim also instructed to take wind element user with him, execute plan successfully. Meanwhile, while Whim and some soldiers create chaos inside castle walls, others will use chaos to advantage, have 2nd Battalion take down fort in one go. Although Whim does not like idea of plan at all, because seems like leaders see him as pyromaniac, does not have choice, but agree with said plan. That said, plan is simplicity itself. As long as Whim creates panic inside, everything would eventually go smoothly. While Knight, still young, Whim together with some soldiers inspects area. Seems like they going to target defensive tower, which holds most of enemy soldiers. Whim's job? Simply infiltrate area. Create opening, so allies can storm place. Whim wears cursed mask, eventually goes on to do job. As they make way inside castle, everyone seems bit worried. What going to happen next? Even Whim relatively unsure. Willett tells Whim, since he has high aptitude for fire and wind elements, should train other magicians, alongside Ignis Fus. Whim asks how supposed to practice wind elements, together with current magic. Firstly, must practice jumping really high, and, during night raid, Whim did as Willett said, practiced wind magic. As finally reaches defensive tower, eventually slices off everyone's head, one after another. Using Ignis Fus, able to kill as many guarding soldiers as he can. When time came, other soldiers able to take notice of attacks. Whole tower now on high alert. Enemy soldiers wonder, what is that blue flame? Eating up whole defense tower. Also could not believe their eyes. Whole defense tower started to get burnt, even though literally made of stone. When finally realized they'd been attacked by Heiser army, started to gather as many soldiers as possible, defend their walls. Meanwhile, Whim's companions assuring him, they got him covered. Does not need to worry much about it. As enemies now coming from below, they have to hurry, or need to call reinforcements from other tower. Seizing tower was tough part, now just needed to hold it, till main forces arrived, just need to assure, set ablaze passage leading there, so no one should be able to cross it. Whim, who obeys orders, does as leader ordered him to do, as rushes inside one of enemy's quarters, whole body freezes, when sees dying man, crying in agony. At that point, Whim slowly realized, morals and consciousness attached to previous life have been wrecked, lost control in Edinburgh, so did not notice amount of suffering Ignis Fus caused before killing someone. Now mere soldier, who is also murderer, starts to contemplate. What if this was not second life? What if initially born in this violent world, will he not suffer as does right now? Tells himself not to think about it, since soldier has no right to veto. As Whim's Ignis Fus continues to digest every corner of tower, many enemy soldiers start to die, one after another. Meanwhile, seems like Whim also almost out of magic, but no one coming now. But seems like enemy soldiers more fearless than expected. Seems like there are still some people not scared of Whim at all. Whim bit shocked when few men start to ask him if he was one that caused fire. Man thanks Whim for chance, Heiser Army says, day after day, night after night. Aside from that, man also wanted to thank Whim for letting them smell food that he referred to as dog food they cook every day. But seems like instead of getting scared that he now cornered, Whim finds himself laughing, states he also sorry, but that service will finally end today. This time Whim against Farius soldiers. To avoid Whim's Ignis Fus, no allies near him. After using Ignis Fus to limits, Whim hardly had any magic left, so ended up using power mode instead. Whim musters all strength, tries to fight every soldier, one after another, even tried using some Ignis Fus power left. When eventually caught up in fight, Farius soldiers think Whim might have died already from their attacks, when see no sign of him at all. But little did they know, he was just hiding behind smoke. Analyze situation. Whim noticed no Scar guy able to defend against power move, so he good at strengthening body with magic. Meanwhile, receding hairline guy is fire element user, specializes in fire resistance. And last one, this water element user, protects others from fire, brings them to Whim. So this is how they divided. Whim thinks, so if that case, first attacks fire user, so others would panic. Whim sure of fact, all these soldiers skilled, cannot make single move, as if dancing in minefield. One after another, enemy just keeps charging. Without giving him time, attack back. Only thing keeps him on track? His Ignis Fus. Whim knows if keeps fighting like this, magic will run out, get tortured to death. As much as he can, tries to maximize Ignis Fus's power, burn off enemy. But seems like fire resistance power enemy has? As strong as Whim's, came to point where Whim did not know what to do next, since enemies both coming to attack at once starts to panic little, but eventually decides do best he can, focuses on attacking one soldier at time, eventually able to take lead. Seems like Farius soldiers care so much about their comrades, will do anything, make sure they can save others, even if need to sacrifice themselves, and that is what makes them bad soldiers. As per Whim, their attachment to others will literally cause downfall. That said, after Whim killed 2 of 3 enemies, now left with only one, take care of. But before can even go near last man, supposedly dead comrades try to stop Whim from moving any further. Disgusted by blood man has, Whim punches guy, till last breath, then moves on. Kill last guy, who seems bit resistant. Whim uses arms, choke man, till he dies eventually. Now that they dead, Whim can finally breathe little, but so shocked when burnt man carries sword, tries to fight him once more. Looks like fire-resistant guy. Seems like he did not die from deadly attacks Whim did earlier. Before burnt man can even land hit on Whim, one of Heiser's soldiers enters scene, killing man in one go. Whim very much exhausted. Thanks comrades for helping. Tells them maybe next time. Should come earlier. So would not be this exhausted. I mean literally almost turned into minced meat while ago. Comrades reason out. He has not stopped being human to be able to throw himself into such raging fire. So instead of bickering, comrades tell him to get up, so can be treated. Whim sat beside wall, while comrades called for help, but seems like Whim bit uncomfortable. Dead, burnt man literally beside him right now, but has no choice but to wait for help. While waiting, Whim can hear sound of people breaking through castle gate, then starts to question himself. If this something they really enjoy doing, since really that messed up, and with that final thought, story leaves us here. War continues, Whim questioning his humanity, while sitting next to corpse, waiting for medic Just another day in this brutal new world, where second chances come with heavy price tags, blue flames, cursed masks, and guilt that never quite burns away. If you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe to stay tuned for the next part.